What's up, guys? Today I remember that I have. Sorry, this is just a mess of wires from when I was starting out on the building stuff. Set destination. And today I remember that I actually have a testing room for movesets. Today is the day. Today is the day that I don't have 500 dummies, because this one is nigh immortal. Alright, so I reworked an old moveset of mine called Suketto Zen'in. And Suketto is an OC of mine, like basically every moveset I have. So let's get into it. So basically every single move has an alternate variant except for the third in base. So your first move is Rabbit Barrage / Divine Dog. Rabbit Barrage is just kind of a buffed Rabbit Escape. So you use your rabbits, you go into your shadow, and then you use the shadow Rabbit Escape variant. And obviously its damage is nerfed, so it's balanced. Next we have Maul, and this. So there's just interesting lore on this, but it uses similar to the concept in Modulo where you can apply the Shikigami traits to yourself. So does that, and you slash them with Divine Dog's Claws. It's pretty cool. And then Katana Retrieval is you drop into your shadow and grab a katana. There's some lore behind the katana, but I won't explain it now. I'll post something explaining it maybe. Here it is. And another interesting, this move actually broke after the Yuta rework. And then next we have Binding Snake. And I know this isn't canon accurate. I know that the snake can come out of other people's shadows, but I was a bit of a LARPer when I made this, and also it's better for balance to have the visual cue. Now for the variants. So when you use your R special, you have a second of shadows before you dip into your actual shadow. So you can use this when it's in that 1 second of, let's call it variance time. This, when you're in that 1 second of that, that's when you can use your variants. So first you have Divine Dog, and it works the same as normal Divine Dog, and it also resets your cooldowns to 0 for this one move, so you can use Divine Dog and then it goes back to the normal cooldowns when Divine Dog is away. And then for Toad, it's just the normal Toad from Megumi. Not too interesting, but you know. And then the variant from Maul is after you use Katana Retrieval. First, your M1s change. Very cool. And they do slightly extra damage. And then the variant from Maul is just a run up and slash. And you can use it to like extend. You can use it to start combos. Like this. And obviously normally you wouldn't be able to use a move twice in one combo because of cooldowns. But yeah. Speaking of, I have to balance the cooldowns on this. So, the first ultimate. Yes, first. I'll fill you in on the second one later. The first ultimate, you're pissing me off. Crouch down, and you have some music playing in the background. Which I really hope isn't licensed, because I will... that would be such a pain. So, if you're wondering what this is the second ult. There's a Maharaga summon. So, first we have Piercing Water. And Max Elephant as the variant. I missed that terribly. Max Elephant as the variant. Next we have Nue's Wings, which I'm going to take the roof off of this. Because it sends you very high. And it's the same concept as with the claws. You apply Nue's Wings to yourself, fly up, and kind of do a slam with the electricity. And just to show you how much damage that does, it's just about 20 damage. It's not too high, but... Then you have Wolf's Claws. This is the same as the Fang. Not Fangs. This is the same claw concept, except applied to both hands. It's a barrage, and you bash their face in afterwards. This one's pretty high damage, too. It's a very aggressive ultimate. And what's up, guys? It's me, Evil Piero, and I'm interrupting your broadcast because I forgot to show you the variants for Nue's Wings and Wolf's Claws. So, the variant for Nue's Wings is Orochi. It's a classic move. You know it. It really sucks to go against, but it's sure as hell. Oh my god. It's fun to play as. And then we have Long Deer. Yes, RCT. And I know that's not not wrong, dear. I know that's not long, dear. I know that's not even the right gender, but who cares? Now back to the react. Now back to cut. And then the cherry on top, we have the domain that I stole from River. Yes, this is literally just River's Megumi domain. I'll put the channel in the description of the video. This takes 25 seconds, so I'm just gonna speed up the video here. We back. So, now for the second ultimate, Maharaga. Now, her Maharaga summon is a little bit different than Megumi's, because in her canon, when she summoned Maharaga for a fight, it was in a similar situation to Megumi, but she was like on the ground, so I had it so you fall to the ground while saying the chant. Normally you have to do the hand sign, but who cares? Hype and aura. Hype moments and aura. All that matters. So, let's get this out of the way. This treasure summon, Maharaga. That's pretty cool, I think. And this works the same as Megumi's Maharaga, where your ult goes down and you can raise it back up by hitting moves, but since I have infinite ult on, it doesn't really matter. So, this was a bit of a pain to do because I had to go through and make variants for all the hitboxes for the M1s. And obviously variants for all the new moves. So, your M1s are the same as just normal punches. They're a little fast, which I might edit, but, you know. So, your first move is Divine Smash. You grab your opponent and you smash them onto the ground and you use Earthquake so you can AoE this. So if you hit one person, you can hit surrounding people too. There you go. Next is Divine Barrage, which is a barrage of punches before you go into a kick. And you might be thinking, wow, that since they're really far away. So, let me explain that real quick. The R special is adaptation, but if you use the R special right after a move, you teleport to your opponent to catch up with them. So next you have Divine Throw, which is just Divine Barrage plus the throw. And it sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. That's the intended effect, but sometimes it just drops them and then you throw it afterwards. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, sometimes it does that. So you really have to stay still while using it. But it does work both ways if you really wanted to. And then you have Divine Charge. So you do a backflip, and you go into something similar to Takedown, but it's got a little animation. And that's inspired by this guy's ultimate. Gut check in his ultimate. But otherwise, you have all your normal Maharaga stuff. There's no modes, obviously, because there's no way to incorporate those into a custom. But it's quite cool, and, you know, you can adapt to everything. And then, obviously, yeah, you die after you lose all your ult. But yeah, that's Suketto. That's the Suketto showcase. She's currently on... She's currently in... Workshop. She's currently in Workshop as Gumby Suketto, so save her and use her while you can before I come up with a better idea and replace her with that. See you.